Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Witchcrafts. Okay, so today, here I am. I'm not actually going to be on camera. I'm not really into the public eye thing, but I am into helping my fellow spiritualists up their game, change their game, think things through in a different way. Because as we all know, spirituality is an individual journey. So what I like to do is I like to make videos and crafts to help you on your journey and help you through your rituals, your process, whatever it is that you do. I personally, I am based off of many faith systems. As it should be, my faith system has changed and evolves all the time. If you guys have seen the altar video, then you know, like I said in my video, that my altar was pretty much empty. And in a matter of days, my altar was completely full just because of the process and the journey. So today we're going to be doing two different things. We're going to be making crystal infused and herbal infused moon water. If you want to stop at the herbal and crystal infused and not charge it under the moon, that's fine. And we're also going to be making a spiritual tea. Okay, let me just pop into the refrigerator and grab that just so I can have the finished results for you. Okay, guys, so I personally work with a lot of candle magic. I work with a lot of crystals, but most of all, I am the type of, let's say, spiritualist, right? Because I don't really like titles. But I am the type of person that I work mostly through my intuition and manifesting through my mind, through thought. So crystals have called to me since the beginning of my journey. Um, I also do tarot as well. So crystals have always been extremely helpful for me cleansing energy and different things of that nature. All right. So today with this tea, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've pulled some, things out of my witch's closet. And we're going to go ahead and get started with making this moon water as well as the tea. Now, one thing I want you guys to know and understand is that if you buy a particular herb that you are not familiar with, for instance, this herb right here is mugwort. Okay. And this herb here is angelica. All right. Okay, so this herb here is angelica. Now, one thing that I would like to say is that angelica is a hallucinogen, and I am not a doctor, so I do not recommend eating it. Now, if you know something I don't, put it in the comments below. I don't know that I'll join you in eating it, but maybe it is safe. But I just don't believe in eating things or drinking teas made out of herbs that are not food grade. These herbs that I purchased were not set for food grade. They were only set for, herbal type of different uses, not for food. So that's why I'm recommending that you guys not eat this. The moon water portion. I know some people drink their moon water, and that's fine. You can drink moon water if it is bottles of water that you have charged under the moonlight. Yes, that is moonlight. That is moon water as well. But it's also distilled food grade water. So that's safe, right? The next thing that I have too is some rosebuds, right? So the tea that I'm going to make is completely edible. I only use things from my cabinet that I'm already using. You guys will see me use things like McCormick in this video, seasonings, right? Totally witchy, but store-bought. So we know it's safe, right? Okay, so when we're talking about the moon water, the first thing that I like to start with is I like to start with my rose buds. So what I'll do is I'll just, because this is all loosey-goosey depending on how you feel, I will open it up. I will add my rose buds. Okay. As you guys see, like I'm fake pouring. Yeah, I am. Why? Because as a finished result, I have this. Okay, this has already been charged by the moon. This is the moon water charge. This is also moon water. This is from the full 1111 beaver moon that has just passed yesterday. So, with that being said, I don't really want more moon water and I don't like to waste because these things cost money. As spiritual as they may be, they cost money and I don't really want to waste them. So, I'll take my mugwort and I'll add it. Now, listen, guys, as you use your herbs to make your moon water, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to research what it is that you want and what herbs can bring this into your life. All right. That's the main thing that you would like, that you need to do. Okay. Now, because sorry guys, I have my head in the refrigerator because I'm pulling out more herbs. The one herb that I do not have at this current time because I used it last night and it's already in my moon water is basil, right? But we'll get to it. But what I like to do is I will take my herbs, okay, and I will just take a plain tray and I will dry my herbs in my oven. I will lay them out clean, wash, clean on the tray. I will put them in the oven and I will dry them out. Now, when you're making moon water or when you're making tea, you don't have to do that. It is not necessary. Okay. And as for the tea, I am going to really make that. But the moon water, we're going to kind of pretend as we go. The next thing that I have is I have some calendula flowers. As you guys know, I am an intuitive psychic tarot reader as well. So a lot of my herbs are going to be based on psychic ability and helping me keep that nice, strong, and healthy, right? Because that's something that I'm using often and I need to recharge. So that's what a lot of my herbs are based around, as well as prosperity, protection, obviously, and purification, right? So the next thing that I would do is I would take my mint. Mint is about purification. Okay, I would take my mint. I would also add it in. The order does not matter to me. It may matter to you, but the order does not matter to me. And this here is some parsley, because parsley also brings purification. So what I like to do with my moon water is I like to put all my herbs together, my purification herbs, the herbs that are going to bring in what I actually want. And I like to put in my ward off, evil or ward off danger or ward off anything that may create blockages. I like to put them all together and then charge them by the moon water. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that along with the usage of crystals makes my particular moon water extremely powerful. All right. So the next thing that I have is anise star. Some people call it anise. For me, it kind of just smells like anisette, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's like sometimes they make, I believe it's called, maybe it is anise cookies or anisette cookies. I think Stelladora makes them. Not really a fan, but I'll also use this in my moon water. This is great for bringing in prosperity. And then we have some herbs that we all know. I use ground sage a lot because for me, I just don't like going back and forth to my spiritual store. Yes, I could order online sage, but I often will travel to my local spiritual store, to get certain herbs, right? So then we have ground cinnamon, all right, as well. And I'll put that in, all of that. Now, once I've done that, right, and I've boiled this mixture, I often like to add oils to my moon water, okay? Now, this one particular oil that I like to add is mustard seed oil. Now, mustard seed oil, let me get it in the camera. Mustard seed oil for me has always been about faith. It's always been about sustaining. And it also has other powers as well. When it comes to a natural type of usage for mustard seed, it is great for treating acne, believe it or not, and dark spots on the face. Okay. And then I like to use my favorite fragrance as well. Excuse me. I'm like fragrance. Anyway, I like to use my favorite fragrance. For me, that is going to be some type of either coconut based or musk based fragrance. I often will use as well frankincense and myrrh. That is a great fragrance for just protection, renewal, cleansing. All right. So after I've gotten everything into the pot, what I do is I go ahead and I let everything cool. Now, when I'm ready, I don't know if you guys can see this, the colors, but if you look at the bottom here, there are colors. And as you can tell, I didn't put anything into the pot as of yet that has colors. So the colors are actually coming from the stones that I have. Okay, the colors are actually coming from the stones that I have. So what I will do is I will go into my stone collection. You guys should know that I'm very thorough and I'm kind of a nerd, right? So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've written all the abilities of these stones. I have everything from tiger's eye to citrine in this box. This is a great box to get for starters. Okay, you can get this at Michael's. These are real crystals, but they're chips. So what that means is you can sprinkle them where you see fit. Okay, you can carry them in your pocket. You can put them into a satchel. They're easy to carry, they're easy to use, and they still work because they are crystals. So what I will do is on this particular moon water, on my moon waters, I will generally use all of my stones because who doesn't want more, right? When I'm doing a particular ritual or I'm doing a particular, potion or, just mixture for a client or something of that nature, I will use what they need in particular. Plus, it's more cost efficient that way. But for this particular situation, when I was making moon water for this ritual, which was a straight prosperity ritual and a protection ritual, I actually used every stone in my arsenal. Okay, so let's move on to the actual tea, and I'm trying to keep this video short. The tea I'll actually make. So the first thing I do is I sprinkle some sage. Okay. The anise star you can actually eat. It is edible. I will add one of those. I will add ground cinnamon. All right. These are my bay leaves. I probably didn't say that when it came to the moon water, but I put bay leaves in moon water as well. I also, like I said, I don't have any basil, right? I don't have any basil because I used it all last night. But I do use basil as well. I will use mint. This tea tastes actually okay too, by the way, guys, just so you know. It's not like gross. All right. And then there's something else that I forgot in the cabinet that I will go ahead and grab and show you guys because I use it in my teas as well. This is chamomile tea. It's pure chamomile. I buy it from the store. Like I said, I like to be safe, right? I don't want to be a crazy chick. I don't want to be a crazy chick, right? Because herbs are powerful. So just understand that. Like, herbs are used in modern day to make medication. So herbs definitely have a power, even if you don't think that they have a magical power. So be very careful what you're mixing, okay? And then I often open this tea bag and I will put it straight in. Now, for this particular mixture, no, we're not going to add any of the rosebuds. We're going to leave the mugwort and the angelica out. We're going to leave the calendula flower out as well. Calendula flower does come in food grade. That part I do know. Okay, just so you guys know. Now, what I do with this is I just take it to the sink and I get some water. Okay, and I move all the things that can cause my home to burn down. and I get that to a boil. I let that boil and then I drink it as a tea, straight up. Now, one thing that I want you guys to know is I too like to charge my tea in the moonlight. So what I will do is I take it and I put it into a glass jar in a safe place, where the moonlight can touch it. This tea was charged last night, as well as all of my moon water and a little something special that I will show you guys at a later date. This is my anointed oil. I make it myself. It smells amazing. Okay. And another thing too is I like to keep all of my ritual, how do you say, you can call it tools, medicine, herbs. I like to keep them all connected. So if something's not edible, of course it's not going into the tea. But all the edible things that I use in my tea can go into my moon water. And they all become charged by the moonlight, because that's what I like to do. I work with the moon, I work with crystals, and I work with herbs. That is the basis of my particular magic. Now, listen, I am me, you are you. What is for you will call to you. There was a time when I was getting ready for this ritual, and the video is over, by the way, guys. If you don't want to hear this part, that's fine. But I'll just say, just for those who are just curious and a little bit more interested, when I was getting ready for this particular video, and not just this video, but for the beaver ritual, I swear I felt like a beaver. I was gathering, I was collecting, I was, noting, notation and all of this other stuff to get ready, because this particular ritual, someone had asked me if they could join, right? I got a new member to my coven, in quotations, right? To my coven. So someone asked me if they could join. So I was like, okay, cool. But I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit weird for me because I'm used to doing my spiritual practices and spell casting and things of all that nature. I'm used to doing it by myself. Now, me personally, when I was looking to gather this stuff, I had decided, you know what? I've already ordered enough stuff. Some things are not going to make it in time. I just went down to the spiritual store for one more thing. And I swear, at least these four things, which became major players in my ritual, were there. And I was like, oh snap. It was almost like the store opened a new department. And I was like, wait, where'd this stuff come from? And I was like, oh my God. So I was able to pick up these extra things that I usually, I can't say usually, these things that I wouldn't have had because time just didn't permit. All right, so as the tea boils, like I said, I will take it and I charge my tea. If you don't want to charge your tea by the moonlight, you don't have to. That's not necessary. The herbs themselves are powerful. What you do is you talk to your water. The water is going to be one of the biggest keys in the teas that you make, especially if they're like spiritual teas, ritual teas, and things of that nature. Your water is going to be, because water has memory. Even scientists will tell you this. This is not necessarily magical, but it is. But water has memory, and water can hear. So you speak to your water and you tell your water what you would like it to do, infuse with your herbs, bringing their magic and their power toward you and being useful in your life. Now, what I like to do is I like to take my tea, charge it, charge my moon water and things of this nature. Oh, guys, I lit the wrong eye. I was like, why does it smell like it's burning? Well, it's because that pot has no water in it. Anyway, so I like to charge my moon water. Now, how do you charge moon water and how do you charge your moon water and use it in a ritual? Well, what you do is you just wait for the moon to come up. It's going to come up earlier in the evening. When that full moon appears, excuse me, guys, my mouth is a little dry. I've been drinking coffee all morning. As that full moon appears, you just put your stuff out there. Me, personally, the ritual that I did last night on 11/11, it happened at 11/11. So I had from 8 o'clock until to charge everything and to get it ready, right? So this has been the video on how to make moon water infused with crystals, as well as different herbs, as well as tea. Now, some people, if you want to get even deeper with the crystals, if crystals call to you as well, there are water bottles that you can put crystals in, or there are water bottles that come with crystals. Or you can simply just add some crystals to the bottom of your tea. Me personally, what I did, because like I said, I am very picky about what I put in my mouth. What I did was I took my crystals and I put them in a bowl of salt, and then I set my tea in the bowl. I have a silver bowl that I use for cleansing different things, stones, different things that I use, and I set them in the bowl. And that's the way I charge my actual tea, with the crystal like energy. Okay, because remember, the way we use crystals is the same way that water can use a crystal. It doesn't have to necessarily come in contact. It could just be near it and it can pick up the energy. Okay, so you don't have to actually add crystals to your actual tea, but there are ways to get crystal energy into your teas. All right, now another thing that I would like to say before I click off is that I like to keep all of my, like I said, magic kind of connected. So during the ritual, we presented the herbs, we did everything, we lit our candles, we invoked our sigils, we cast our circle, all of that good stuff. And then we also, handed in our petitions of what we're trying to bring into our lives and what we would like to remove as well. And then as we were done doing that, that's when I actually sipped the tea to kind of make me one with my ritual, as well as the new coven member that came in as well. If you guys would like to get more information, my email address and things of that nature are below. A lot of the things that you see me make on this channel can be made for you. Now, the one thing that I will tell you is when I send you something, it is clean, cleansed, and it will have the power of either the, herbs or the crystals. But I do not cast spells for people unless I know them personally. So I don't do spell work for outside people. My member in my coven, she was led to be in my coven, and I'm, in certain ways responsible for helping her on her journey. But ultimately, she's responsible for herself. And when we do things, she asks about what I'm doing, and she gets in on what she would like to get in on. And I always make her be a very particular active part of whatever I'm doing. If I do this, she has to do it, and it's a choice, right? I don't cast spells for people. Point blank, period. Also, too, guys, we'll get into later. I know a lot of people are curious about the money jars. I like to call mine a prosperity jar. Money is not really that important to me. I have as much as I need and more. So money is not really a thing, but I do like prosperity, and I do like removing blockages. So that's what my little jar is about. We'll get into that at a later date. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, and namaste.